Hello guys, welcome to the King's Castle. It's your boy Siyabonga Gift, back again with another banging episode. Today we're going to speak about 10 common types of business ownerships. For you guys, when you register for your business, you should know what kind of an ownership you are looking for in your business. So let's continue. We have number one, a sole proprietorship. Businessship. A sole proprietorship is owned and operated by one individual. The owner of a sole proprietorship doesn't need the approval of a board or a partner to make daily business decisions. They also get to keep and determine what to do with the business profits. And I'm going to also tell you about the advantages and the disadvantages. Advantages. They are similar to form than other businesses because it doesn't require a lot of paperwork, and the owner has a sole control of all processes and decision making. Filing taxes for the type of businesses is easy than for other types of businesses. The disadvantages of it: the owner accepts all responsibility for the business losses, and also the owner is responsible for raising capital for startup costs. It may be harder for the owner to sell the business as time goes. And again, we have a partnership. A partnership is a form of a business that involves two or more owners controlling a business. The joint owners may run the day-to-day activities by themselves or through appointed representatives. In a partnership, the owners sign a formal agreement that clearly states a partnership's rights, shares, and responsibilities. Businesses leaders typically divide partnerships into limited liability partnerships and unlimited liability partnerships. And here is how these types of partnerships work. Limited liability partnership. In a limited liability partnership, individual partners don't accept losses caused by another, meaning no legal entity can seize or sell one partner's possessions to pay for another partner's debits. In an unlimited liability partnership, both partners are reliable for the business. If one partner is directly responsible for a loss, all other partners pay for the debit, even if they aren't directly responsible for losses. Here are advantages and disadvantages of a partnership. Advantages: they provide potential to gain wider access to knowledge and experience from partners. The infusion of capital is easier than it is on other business structures. This business type offers the ability to share the burden of startup costs and capital expenditure. The division of a labor among partners creates a better work-life balance. Yeah, you can have free time. Disadvantages: partners carry the burden of liabilities regardless of the partners who is responsible for the debit. There's a potential loss of autonomies and as well as partners deliberate on key decisions. There can be more potential for conflict between partners, and selling Complications can arise if one partner disagrees with the plan to sell the business and also to create the product or to distribute the product. And then we also have a limited liability company. In a limited liability company, the owner assets like their car, houses, personal accounts have protection in their business if it goes bankrupt. This ownership opt in a good choice for small businesses owners looking to start a new business. And here are some of their advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: flexibility to opt different tax structures, potential to earn tax deduction for business losses, responsibility for business liabilities if it happens that it doesn't belong to the shareholders, a ability to restructure without seeking a regulator approval, and yeah, that's all. Disadvantages: it can be challenging to raise capital for this type of business. This can be more expensive to form than other structures. The salary and profits are often subject to self-employment taxes. Private corporations. A private corporation involves individuals forming a group to manage a business. This kind of ownership separates assets and liabilities from owners. In case of a loss, the owners only lose the amount they invested. Those starting a corporation submit a document called the Articles of Incorporation. And in the state where the business is located, by state I'm referring to the place or the country. Private corporations allow individuals to buy stock from the corporation, giving the business more capital to grow. What's capital? Capital is the money or amount of money, goods, or services a business needs to start up itself. Yeah, the money needed to start a business. Yeah. Capital to grow the business or invest in a better technology or tools. Individuals who buy stock because part owners of the corporation. Some advantages and disadvantages of a private corporate include: advantages: no obligation to reveal financial results to the public, limited or no shareholder pressure for short-term results, limited liability expenditure for owners, and disadvantages include restricted access to capital market, more stringent regulation when a partnership or a sole proprietorship is not deemed valid, potential for high administrative costs, less control of a business with more shareholders. I don't know if we should stop or if we should continue, but let's continue. And then we have a cooperative business. A cooperative business is an enterprise that is privately owned by the same people who benefit from it. The owners of a cooperative, who are also the shareholders, are involved in a decision-making process. This is no limit to the number of shareholders in a cooperative, which means there is no limit to the number of owners. Owners receive a share of the profit from their cooperative investment depending on their shareholdings. The owner of a cooperative elect a board who manages the business. And here are some advantages and disadvantages of a cooperative. Advantages. It grants equal rights to members during the decision-making process. It also brings members together for a common cause. And again, it provides access to diverse and include funding opportunities. Yeah, that's another great part about it. And then disadvantages. It has fewer incentives for eagle investors and venture capitalists, and it also have slower decision making amongst owners, as people can struggle coming up with one solution in a business because we have different views. Hmm. Non-profit organizations or non-profit corporations. A non-profit corporation operates to benefit a community or providing a social service. For someone to operate this form of an ownership, they are required to provide to a government, an entity that their services benefit society. These cooperatives are typically charitable organizations in the fields of science, criminal justice, education, and humanitarian affairs. Non-profit organizations that choose to incorporate and file a certificate, of formation with their Secretary of State office become non-profit corporations. Many, but not all, non-profit organizations choose to incorporate to take advantage of many available benefits. Here are some advantages and disadvantages of becoming a non-profit corporation. Advantages. There is limited ability or limited liability protection for owners' assets. You are eligible for tax exemption. You are eligible to receive grants. You have a diverse fundraising opportunity. You are also allowed to access donations, and donations are tax exempt, which is good. Disadvantages. There are costs. The approval of tax exemption status may take a long time. You are not always eligible for a tax exemption. There might be excessive public scrutiny of how you use funds and donations. And then we have benefit corporation, sometimes called B Corps. I prefer to call them B Corps, benefit corporation. A benefit corporation aims to benefit the public well, also making a profit. A certified B Corp or B Corporation are benefit corporations that have received a third-party certification from a non-profit B Lab or a certified B Corp. They must achieve a minimum of a verified scope of the B impact assignment and are required to gain recertification every 3 years. Both benefit corporations and certified B corporations are legally required to consider the impact of their decisions on their workers, customers, suppliers, community, and environment. Most government entities require B Corps to submit regular reports that include the public benefit stemming from their businesses, and some advantages and disadvantages of B Corp and a certified B Corp include it allowing instant networking with like-minded corporations. It may benefit from tax exemption, and it attracts investors seeking to make social impact. Disadvantages are they are more expensive reporting requirements for both B Corp and certified B Corps. There are stringent standards to maintain status as a certified B Corp. And again, the B Corp certification fees range from $500 to $50,000 per year, which in South Africa it can cost around 5,000 to 70,000 a year, or even higher or more, depending on the situation. As you know, currency differs. Hmm. And then we have a close corporation. A close corporation, also known as a private held company. A private company or a family corporation is a business whereby ownership consists of a limited number of shareholders who have close associations with the business, like family. Owners of this type of business can't offer it for public trading, which means if someone wants to sell their shares, they can only sell themselves to co-workers. And here are some few advantages and disadvantages of a close corporation. Advantages: there are fewer formalities besides failing in incorporating documents. There is a greater control in the daily running of the business. There are strong liability protection options for personal assets. There is freedom in financial structuring. There is no outside pressure for performance from public shareholders. And disadvantages include exit options may have limitations if you want to stop doing businesses with your family or with them. Some jurisdictions may not recognize those corporations, and shareholders may have increased responsibilities. You may not make a public offering of stock. Yeah. And we have C Corps. A C corporation is a publicly owned business that can have an unlimited number of shareholders. Most major companies treat themselves as C corporations for federal income tax purposes. The shareholders in a C corp pay tax separately from the business, hence they have double taxation at the corporate and personal levels. Corporation pays taxes on benefits before distributing the remaining to the owners as dividends. And here are some advantages and disadvantages. For advantages, the legal obligations of the corporation cannot become the debt of any individual associated with the business. They can raise money by selling stock, and advantages: they may have more extensive reporting, record keeping, and operational processes. They pay income tax on profits, and the government may tax them twice. That's said. And we have S Corporation. And S Corporation gets its name from Subcharter S of an internal revenue code. This type of corporation is a common choice for small business owners to qualify for S corporation. A business must meet specific requirements which include number one, it must be incorporated in South Africa if you're based in South Africa, or if you're based in America, if you're based in Nairobi, if you're based anywhere, it must be incorporated with the state. Yes. It must only have one class of stock. Yes. You must only sell one kind of stock, not more, not less. And it must have no more than 100 shareholders. It must have shareholders that are either individuals, specific trust, or tax-exempt organizations. And here's some advantages and disadvantages. They get benefits of incorporation while enjoying the tax-exempt privileges of a partnership. They may not face some types of corporation penalties, and also they make transferring ownership simple, and they don't offer face double taxation, which is great. Disadvantages: they may meet certain requirements, and they must allow shareholders to vote on major decisions. They can only issue common stock, which could impact their ability to raise capital. And capital is money. Yeah, capital is money. Articles. So, guys, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you continue to go with us. And please, if you know anyone, please send the video to them. Share the word, spread love, spread joy, spread peace. And about the upcoming event that will be hosted in Bethlehem, in or at New Hall, I would like to hear more about you guys. If we should continue making it or not, because I haven't got any hints up for many people. So far, the number is limited. So I want to hear more from you guys. If you like it, please hit us up and we'll continue hosting it. Thank you. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Peace out.